Welcome to Denver, Colorado, home of the 108th Annual National Western Stock Show. You know, for the next 16 days, the Mile High City goes cowboy. This road. Looking through the National Western Guest Guide. There's 123 pages of activities here, so we better get in and get started. I knew I was gonna have to buy the thing. Did you buy that?
I'm going to.
Oh, you should. Congratulations, huh? That's the cool thing about the National Western. You can buy anything. Is that buffalo? Oh, heck yeah, man. Definitely make you winter well, wouldn't it? I can't believe you ain't sold out yet.
National Western is a unique event as it is one of the top 5 rodeos in the United States, as well as the largest cattle show in the United States and the largest horse show in North America. As well as with all that going on, it's the largest trade show in the state of Colorado. All of this happens in 16 days with 42 ticketed events in those 16 days. The slogan here at the National Western is "Find your Western Spirit." And in the month of January, the city of Denver ends up rolling out the carpet for the Western Spirit. We are about 7 blocks away from the downtown area of Denver, and we're 90+ acres of Western heritage right in the middle of the city of Denver. So as people on the outside of Denver say, it's a cow town. Yes, it is. Denver is, and they are proud of being a cow town. And the National Western's here to keep Denver a cow town. The economic impact of the National Western is one of the largest in the state of Colorado, as it brings in over $100 million to the city of Denver and the state of Colorado in the 16 days of January each year. With the diversity of the National Western being what it is, with the cattle shows, the horse shows, the trade shows, the children's events, each and every one of those events are wonderful, and each one of them make the National Western, but you take the rodeo, the horse show, the cattle show, any of that out, and I don't know if the National Western would be half as strong as it is. It takes each and every one of those events to make the National Western a whole. Each and every one of those events are a spoke in the wheel, so without one, we're without any.
There's hundreds of thousands of pictures taken right here at this location, because after you go into the show ring, you come get your awards, and this is the picture that hangs on your wall.
We are the only livestock show and rodeo still around that has a yard show in it. Back when all these events started, the Denvers, the Fort Worths, the Houstons, they all had a yard show with them. Denver still has the historic yard show. So there it's been dubbed the Super Bowl of cattle shows.
The National Western, certainly one of the premier stock shows in the world, is been going for over 100 years, and the Hereford breed was one of the breeds that started here at the National Western. The National Western Stock Show, or any stock show you go to, is obviously a showcase of some of the premier seed stock in the world, but ultimately it's all about the consumer. These cattle are the ones that are at the top of the pyramid that move on down through the commercial industry, and those cattle are the ones that ultimately hit the slaughterhouses and the consumer, the retail markets. Our ultimate goal is just simply to collect data and pedigree information so that when these our breeders, no matter whether it's Hereford or Angus or Red Angus or whatever the breed might be, we're giving the right kind of information to the commercial industry to move this entire cattle industry forward.
Ford McCoy, I seen your name there.
Yeah, Caitlin McCoy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Got quite the herd here. I see you got is the Heart C, is that y'all's brand?
Yes, that's our brand. That's my mom's grandfather's brand.
Now, y'all drop all these cattle all the way from Oregon?
Well, my mom did. I'm actually go to school in Oklahoma, so I drove down.
I also was from
Oh,
Oklahoma.
did you?
Yeah. Tell us about all your cattle here.
Well, we got one that we sold, and then we got 3 that I bred and owned, and then I have a bull that's selling in the National Western Angus bull sale.
What does the National Western mean to you guys? I mean, to come all the way from Oregon and bring this whole load, is this a big investment for y'all?
Oh, it's a huge investment. It's more about getting the cattle ready before this. I think that's most of the investment. Here's kind of where we show off our hard work that we've been doing for the past, 6 months. And this is like a huge event for us because this is
not judging Kansas City against Houston or Fort Worth, but is Denver one of the biggest?
Well, I think for breeding purposes, yes. Because I think a lot of like the Houston and Kansas City is about showing. It's not really about finding the genetics. Where there's a lot of opportunities, out in the yards and the bulls on the yards that, people can use to benefit them. So
it really does take the show business back into the beef.
Exactly.
Show us how you fit the bull. I mean, what do we do? You see, most of these guys are getting after it.
Well, most of the time we start out by blowing them off with like a blower, and then we kind of will come in and we'll kind of do some of like the brushing upwards, which you'll kind of just like, he's got a lot of leg hair, which normally English don't have, but like brush it up, and a lot of the times you want them to look like posts or like tree trunks. And that's kind of how you, and then go up into a big bud.
You see, like even in the winter, you're keeping fans on them to keep them cold.
Yes.
So the way I understand it, the longer the hair, the better. I mean, you can almost shape the hair.
Exactly, and it's all about people who come in here who fit and stuff. They're sculptors. They can take something that maybe has a little crick in its back or something like that, and make the tail head come straight out and then straight down.
I have had the good fortune of being able to judge for many years. I'm over 50 years old, and I've done it since I was 20. And I have had the opportunity to judge many of the different breeding shows here at the National Western Stock Show. I equally enjoy judging breeding shows as well as market shows. Breeding shows and market shows are not that much different. Obviously, it's a matter of opinion, and for me, structural soundness and correctness in both breeding and market is very important. In the breeding animals, obviously in our bulls, we're looking for masculinity and strength, and combining that with a good bit of performance information. And on the female side, just the opposite. We want females to perform and have longevity, produce a calf in a good interval. And so these shows give us the opportunity to select them for some of those traits early in life. The market show is more about meat. And obviously the end product, muscle and marbling, they do need to be structurally correct. I'm a firm believer in that. Ultimately, in the steer show, it's about end product and marbling quality.
So Gerald, what's some of the other reasons that you come to the National Western?
Well, one thing, you know, is to showing our cattle. But another thing that's really a helpful tool for us and we've used in our program is being able to go around and look at other people's programs and see what bulls are working for them and see if there's bulls that we can bring into our program as AI sires or different things. Just like this bull here. This is Miles McKee. He sold in the Collier Hereford production sale last year for $600,000 for half interest. Since seeing this bull and other offspring out of this bull sire, the 88X, we use that bull in our program now because we see the quality, and there's a lot of things about this bull with the body and rib and power and structural soundness that, you know, we can all use in our program.
You not only sell your program, you're shopping for newer, better programs as well.
That's right. So there's a lot of advantages to making it through the barns and looking at the different programs and seeing what's working for other people.
Sweet, Gerald. I appreciate you showing us around the barn.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
You bet. Good to see you.
At the National Western here, we have many different species of animals. We end up starting the week off with llamas and alpacas, and then we go through rabbits, beef, horses, goats. There are some chickens. They have a poultry show. Then if you go on further with the petting farm, you know, there's about every animal imaginable in the petting farm. So here at the National Western, if it's an animal, you stand a really good chance of seeing it.
Look at these Persians, they're huge. You know, since we do the ride with Cord McCoy, let's go see if they let us ride one. Hey, how you doing? You own these horses?
Yes, sir. Jason Goodman.
Cord McCoy, nice to meet you, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, I seen them from the front out there. I was kind of wondering, is there any way that I can ride one of these Persians?
Well, actually, we have a pair here that we're getting ready for the show tonight. We could take old Duke out here. He's broke to ride.
If you got just a minute, I mean, usually
Sure.
it just takes me 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's try.
We'll see if you can stick 8 seconds on this guy. You ready? If you're
Yes,
ready,
sir.
I'll go ahead and give you a leg up.
Heck yeah. Whoa, Duke. 1, 2, 3. That's a long way up there. He got a smooth trot.
Yeah, you think that's fun? Usually most of the time we work these guys because they're work horses and draft horses.
Yeah.
We work them in twos, pairs. So we just happen to have his full brother out here
Really?
ready to go, yeah.
Well, I can't ride 2 at a time. Can you?
We can try.
Whoa. That is pretty freaking sweet right there.
That's all it takes.
Thanks, Jason. That's awesome, man. That is that's one heck of a ride right there.
We have a lot of different exotic type of animals at the National Western, which you are not used to seeing at a lot of shows. We still have a bison show, we have a longhorn show, a yak show. All of that takes place in the historic yards. It's the original yards over 120 years old. The stock yards are where all of these shows end up taking place. A lot of the exhibitors that come to the yards, most of them come just to be in the yards at Denver, and a lot of the boards are the exact same boards. You can see it the way the yards are standing, but that's what the exhibitors want. When they polled the exhibitors a few years ago about fixing up the yards and everything, they're like, oh no, this is the National Western Yard. If the hinges are broke on a gate, that's how it's supposed to be. With this being the 108th year of the National Western, we really strive to hold on to our tradition as well as build into a new era One of the things that we really end up priding ourselves in is we end up bringing almost 20,000 school kids out for ag tours. They get to tour the barns and see the cattle and the horses. Without the National Western here, most of those kids would never get the chance to see a live cow or a live horse. We actually do a sheep shearing demonstration each and every day, and kids actually get to see this is where my clothes end up coming from. I think the National Western does a wonderful job teaching the youth what the old traditions really were and how they continue on today.
The junior program and what the National Western Stock Show does and what cattle associations do to promote the junior programs is really exceptional.
We have over 650 volunteers each year at the National Western that takes a big chunk off of the budget of this event so that we can contribute more funds each year to our scholarship, where we actually fund 74 scholarships a year to ag and rural medicine students.
Express is the only reason I'm really going to college in Oklahoma, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Well, their scholarship program is what helped me through college. I haven't paid a dime for college yet. And
Is that just because your involvement in Angus?
And I won so many times with the money and stuff like that, like the increments, and I'm on my 5th tier with those heifer, blah, 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 so you win this amount of money, you know. And
well, that definitely makes me proud to wear the Express jacket.
Yeah, I worked for them for, 2 years where, they would do the sale and stuff like that, so that was nice, I could call up Donnie, hey, do you guys need help? He goes, oh, we always need help, so, I can come down and work for them and stuff, so I definitely owe a lot of that to them.
Here at the National Western, there's so many different events going on in different buildings. This is one of the more popular events called team pinning. 3-man or person team. Actually, they have to cross a line and they give them a number. They have to sort all their number of cattle out of this pen and put them in that pen over there. And it is a timed event, so it is a race. Well, in the 16 days of the National Western Stock Show, there's thousands of things to do, but one of my favorite is the PBR. Let's go, it starts in a minute.
By the way, a proud part of the National Western Stock for more than 100 years. We say thanks to Colorado State University.
Let me tell you, every time that you come to the National Western, there's one thing that you always do. Get a corn dog. How you doing? One corn dog, please. I'll have the jumbo, please. They get cheaper every year.
I know, right?
Get better every year.